What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hello, summoners, and welcome to the Oceanic University Championship. Here we are at the semi-finals. Game 3 now. Dream took away Game 1 by the breadth of a hair, and Zabuza took away a dominating Game 2, and here we are now at the third game of this best-of-3 series. Will it be University of Auckland's Team Dream who are able to take away the win here, or is it going to be the underdog Zabuza from Queensland University of Technology able to take it out? Getting into the picks and bans, this is the first ban we've seen that hasn't been against Survive alone for Team Dream. It's the Hecarim. The tellers, will they ban out the Tristana? I really think they should.
Yeah, let's see if they do adapt and do realize where the bleeding was and stop it, because Survive alone, he did do very well in the past 2 games, but it really has been Binoculars, and yeah, the Tristana ban has come through. So very good read by the side of Dream, and very good bans just across the board.
There was no way they couldn't ban that out. I like the Aurelia ban out again against IU after he had the first game. But banning out the Hecarim makes me think that they were expecting the Aurelia ban. Might want to go for the Fizz again. Already picking up the Bane to hand over to Liberty, locking that one in very confidently. I'm interested to see what Zabuza pull out now. They're not going to have Binoculars on Tristana, but they know that Liberty is playing a comfortable champion, which means Binoculars can now bring the element of surprise to the table. He knows how Liberty is going to play this champion, but Liberty doesn't know how Binoculars will play whatever he picks.
I don't know how I feel about this Vayne, because Vayne already a contested pick, and not even seen as one of the high tier ADCs. I mean, there's still Corki, there's still Jinx, those kind of champions, and we do know that Liberty can play them to a really high level. I know for a fact Binoculars does not play Vayne very much, so to take the Vayne away is kind of a weird thing to first pick, especially since there's the opportunity to counterpick that champion quite easily. Okay, sorry, I just continued because I think Pixie DC'd for a second.
Oh, no, my apologies. Oh. I flicked over my mic to unmute, I was certain, but I didn't. But I was actually saying that no one heard. As you're dead right, the Vayne can be so easily countered, and really that just goes to show maybe how confident and potentially overconfident Liberty is on that champion. I was actually about to say I really like the Thresh pickup, but at the last minute it was swapped over to the Braum. I'm not quite so sure how I feel about that against the Vayne.
Well, Braum, if he can hit one of those,
if
it's a very big if, but we have seen Myzeria do a very good job on that Braum previously, so I wouldn't put it past him. But Liberty, again, very good at sidestepping, very good at dodging, weaving those skill shots away from himself, and Bark, no one better to kind of help him peel land. They're going back to that Vayne Janna bot lane that they used in the first game to kind of win that game and hard carry.
The thing is, they used it against the Thresh, which I think is a lot better than using it against the Braum. Really, Janna doesn't have as many tools to keep the Braum at bay. 0-2-1, again going for the jungle Nidalee. We were talking about that towards the end of last game, and we were saying that maybe he needed to move towards a more utility-oriented jungler. I mean, Nidalee is a good champion, and 0-2-1 is very good on Nidalee in the jungle, but again, there's an element of predictability to it, you know. At this point, there's no two ways about it. Zabuza know how 0-2-1 plays on that jungle Nidalee, and every time he picks it, sure he gets damage, sure he gets the opportunity to make some funky early plays, but if he doesn't make those plays, he robs his team of so much utility.
Exactly, there's so many other junglers that offer so much more than Nidalee. I mean, Nidalee is a very strong jungler in her own right in terms of being able to do those very early invades, very early kills, a lot of high damage, but look at a Gragas, look at something that has, a Gragas, a Rek'Sai. Those two champions offer so much mobility, early ganking, a lot of teamfight CC, but if you look towards the team, they have a lot of anti-poke champions in terms of Braum, in terms of Orianna. They can shield up a lot of the poke coming through from this Nidalee, and you want to run a poke, high damage jungler with Vayne and Janna. It's kind of interesting to see those pickups come through.
Orianna, though, swept away from Tam Jong. I hope he doesn't go for the Rumble, I'll be honest. I think that would be a bit of a mistake here. And what that also says to me is this Lulu is not going in the mid lane as well. So potentially top lane could also potentially be, and now hear me out, it could be a jungler. It could be a jungle Lulu. It would be very funky, and it would be an interesting pick against the Nidalee, but it could be done. So far, though, I like the Vlad hover, though. Really, Tam Jong is extremely comfortable on the Vlad, and I think moving away from the Rumble is smart, because, one more time, there is an element of predictability to that. So far, if Dream do lock in these champions, then we can say they have adapted a little bit. They've taken some comfort, some predictability, but they've also shaken it up a little. And I like the Gnar as well, because all the crowd control and utility they're lacking in the jungle, they'll now pick up in the top lane. Last game they used Fizz, and he didn't have that extra utility either. They really had little to no utility. They were just relying on the Thresh. So I do like that pickup that will be going into the hands of IU. And now we're going to have to see where on earth this Lulu is going, and what Zabuza opted to take for the last pick.
Maybe it'll be a Lulu top, which is essentially a protect ADC comp if you notice. But Banok was one of the hard carries of the team, and so many shields in front line that can really help Binockle's carry on this Jinx, and no better champion than Jinx kind of carried these fights. And Jinx, Rom is an extremely strong lane, but we'll see if he can let Liberty farm as he did last game, because Liberty did an extremely good job in lane, not getting poked down too far or falling too far behind in terms of farm. But Myzeria, we're used to seeing him go Zeke's harboring a first item, and that works extremely well, not only on Tristana, but also on Jinx. So we'll see what he can do, but Silocybe opting for a tankier jungler opposed to that at least, which he had great success on last game, but saw this matchup before, and O2-1 kind of dominated the Grex in the jungle in the game number 1, so we'll see what he can do this game to kind of shake it up a bit. But the laners of Silocybe should be able to push it in and help if any jungle invades were to happen.
I have to say, as much as it was smart to ban out the Tristana, I think again Dream have maybe given away a bit too much ground by letting the Jinx Braum combo fall into the hands of Zabuza, especially looking at the team comp. I mean, it's something that can really come back to bite them. Look, they need to get into the fight, they need to pile on, and Jinx is someone who isn't going to let you get anywhere near her.
And even if they choose to lane swap, as they did last game, which they found great success in, Jinx can take those turrets equally as fast as Tristana can, and as long as Jinx gets fine through lane, although Vayne is known as one of those late game hyper carries, Jinx can do it from a distance and has a lot of shields to do so. Tanks on the side of Dream here is only LU on that now, which is extremely tanky nonetheless, but is it enough? Jinx can tear through that Gnar, so it's going to be really important that he gets those mega ults coming through and hitting multiple members, because he is the engage and he also is the frontline.
Yeah, the crucial catches are going to be the Orianna and the Jinx. What I need to see from O2-1 this game is strong early aggression into the lanes. He has to get on Jinx, he has to get on Orianna, he has to shut them down. And he has to do it really well. It's got to be at least one of them. He can't let both just go essentially untouched. And what that can then do is give Dream the breathing space to have effective team fights, because there's no two ways about it. If they let both of those lanes do even just alright, even if they just go even, that's going to be so huge in team fights, because this Dream squad can't fight through the range and damage from Jinx as well as Orianna.
Jinx is going to have the same kind of effectiveness in lane, Tristana probably more so because the bombs can easily harass Liberty across, but the range differential on Jinx is going to be huge with that minigun switch to the rockets, and she's going to outrange Bark and Liberty in this lane, but it depends if Myzeria can hit these Winter's Bite and also apply those concussive blows, because if he can, a lot of damage is going to be piled onto Liberty out of the chompers and such. But the mid lane is going to be a matchup that's going to be interesting to watch, seeing as Survival Alone on the Orianna and Tam Jong on that Vladimir, which we saw him hard carry yesterday against Monash A. Both extremely hard scaling mid laners. The thing is though, is the team comp of Zabuza gonna bite them in the backside, seeing as they picked a lot of AP? The top laner, jungler, and mid laner are all AP based champions, so will Binockles be enough AD damage for them to be able to pull this team comp off? That's the question.
That really is quite the question. And of course Liberty, he's going to be able to shred through these members as well. As much as he might struggle to get in the right position, once he is in that right position, he's going to destroy people. As much as this is a protect the AD comp, you can't all be peeling. someone has to go in. Someone has to be the front line. Who's that going to be? Is it going to be Braum? Then who's protecting Binoculars directly? I mean, Silocybe has to go in. Is Riven the Dream going to go in with him? He can't. He needs to stay at a range. So does Survive alone. So there's going to be opportunities, no doubt, for Liberty to actually position himself very favorably in these fights. And that's really the game that Dream need to play here. In any case, coming into the loading screen now, we'll be getting on to the Rift in just a moment, and we get to ask the question we love to ask at the beginning of the game. How do we feel the early game is going to look? Do we think we're going to see a lane swap?
The lane swap is a potential, but I think that giving Vayne breathing room where you can punish her in lane is too much to give up. I mean, obviously they did do very well in the lane swap, and Dream probably learned from their mistakes last game and won't go for an early dragon that might punish them. But the lane swap is definitely a potential for either team. But the thing is, will they go for the dive? Nidalee kind of good at tower dives, not as good as something like Elise, but still can do it effectively. But Nah and Lulu both alright in lane swaps, but Lulu probably has the better time in the lane swap, seeing as she has the shields and the glitter lance to kind of farm from a distance.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how these teams go about this, how they place their early wards as well. I'm excited, actually. I will say I'm excited to see how these teams play it out, because they are very evenly matched. They've definitely proved that. Dream have taken down some really big teams, the likes of Monash, to get here, as well as I believe the Monash B squad, though I could be mistaken there. In any case, they've fought hard to be there, and Zabuza have put up one hell of a fight. This is going to be a good match, no matter how you slice it.
Exactly, Dream representing New Zealand at this point, you know, cream of the crop, and they're representing the country extremely well as so far, but Zabuza are definitely putting up a fight, doing their best job, and both teams is going to go for the lane swap wards because, well, obviously they don't want to get lane swapped on, or either they're going to try initiate a lane swap, but hopefully Dream learn from their lessons and won't go for a late walk into their own jungle and get hooked away here, or sorry, not hooked away, but hit by a Winter's Bite and stunned up, because that could lead to a first blood differential, and that's going to really matter in these close games.
That was a much better move that time by Dream, because they put down the ward, that nice little blue ward you can see just around their red buff. Are they going to sniff out OG1 here? They're in a lot of trouble. Could well get collapsed upon here. We do have IU coming up onto the side. It is going to be a lane swap, though. They're doing a good job of trying to avoid wards, actually Nidalee opting to back away from there. But that is going to be the lane swap spotted out, which is so crucial. That being said, again, Zabuza just got so much coverage. They know exactly where IU isn't.
Interesting to see that they didn't see the wards, sorry, not the wards, the traps at the red buff, so they didn't know that O21 was in fact there, but O21 doesn't want to cut it close, and they're going to go for his own blue. Didn't have the early setup anymore, but it's alright, because he has his bot lane to leash for him. So yeah, the lane swap is going to be matched by the side of Liberty and Bark, and double golems, or Krugs should I say, going to be given away to the bot lane of Zabuza here. Going to have a slight XP lead, and if they can really push this, it's going to matter a lot in terms of winning this lane out.
Yeah, and they do just want to try and push very hard and very fast. O21 as well, not being able to start on that red side of his jungle means he might not be able to come up and give that helping hand to Liberty and Bark quite as early as he might like to. So it's going to be just a bit of raw skill here for Liberty. He needs to keep his calm in this matchup, not get too overzealous. Early level 2 now from his area binoculars, so Bark and Liberty have to stay safe for a moment. Stands over the chompers. That's so unfortunate. The second stun didn't quite come through from the concussive blows, but Liberty walked right on top of that one.
If you look at the items that LU has opted for, he's gone for the longsword. He's obviously trying to bully this lane out, and it kind of tells that they were looking for the, in fact, 1v1 and 2v2 lane respectively. We'll see what O21 can do to kind of punish or try counter jungle Silocybe here, but they are on the opposite sides of the map, and O21 doing a very stereotypical, not stereotypical, sorry, very common thing that he does like to do, look towards the mid lane and gank that lane, because he really likes to get his friend Tam Jong ahead in his early game.
Yeah, Survive Alone has got to have sniffed it out by now, though. He can see Tam Jong playing a little bit aggressively. Tam Jong on that Vladimir, though, he really likes that champion, and all the danger and utility and crowd control that comes out of this Zabuza squad can be completely mitigated by a good, well-timed Sanguine pull. Then he's going to come back in, lifesteal up, and he can last really, really long in these fights.
And that's exactly the sort of fight Zabuza want. They want a fight where actually they can blow up the right carries, i.e. Liberty, and then get an extended fight. So Tam Jong is really, really comfortable in that same situation. If he can get ahead in lane, or even just go even in lane and get a few good kills, he could really be the crux of this of this Dream comp.
Saib getting pinged out, so obviously the team of Dream do know where he is at this point in the game, and doing a very good job at trying to apply pressure at the right places at the right time, and Buck and Liberty holding their own in this lane after an unfavorable early trade, but actually a pot up on Liberty, so very, very nicely played, and LU actually being a great start by Riven the Dream, and quite surprising, not how I thought it would play out.
IU is really hurt. Oh, though, O2-1, misses the spear. That's so unfortunate. That could have even been a picked up kill. Now Miseria going aggressive on Bark. Nice tornado. They're going to turn it around. Third Silver Bolt there. Good moves by Liberty. And Dream, they're keeping their cool in these lanes. This is exactly what we like to see from them. This is where they really, really thrive.
Yeah, Dream is a team known for having the good team fighting, good rotational and objective play, so as long as they don't get behind these lanes, they should be able to have the experience and knowledge to make this late game work in their favor. But as I mentioned, you don't want to let this particular ADC comp scale out of control. I mean, Miseria are gonna get that Zeke's Harbinger, and really help Binocul's carry on this Jinx. And we've seen Binocul's position so well in the past fights and deal so much damage with the right item, so definitely gonna be able to carry if he gets the right scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just a smart composition from Zabuza, and it definitely looks like a bit of a comfort thing for them as well. They go, you know what, let's get ourselves to the third match, and then we can run this composition, because they know exactly how well Binoculars can play. They know how hard he can carry. Right now, though, Liberty is holding very even in CS, and oh, here comes O2-1, right off Binoculars, forces the flash from both of them, actually, and no flash has been blown on the Dream side. Really nice move by O2-1. That's the aggression I was talking about. It's so great to see him playing this Nidalee more effectively than in the last game.
One thing that's kind of interesting to mention, and kind of not off topic, but a niche thing that I like to do in ranked fights as well when I play my team, neither team are writing down the cooldowns for the flashes. I mean, right there, they should be 11-minute flash on both the bot lane pair, gank top again, you know? They should have these kind of small things so they can get onto Binoculars, because a flash difference in lane and slight leads like that really translate to a lot of advantages if they really can utilize it.
We're already seeing this. Look at how healthy Liberty and Bark are compared to the enemy top lane. Oh, O2-1 finds Saib. He doesn't have his red buff, and Saib will just body slam away over the wall, but O2-1 lays down the harass there. Doesn't quite get the follow-up spear, nor does he get the leap over the wall. But in any case, O2-1, he looks a bit more comfortable again. He's kind of back on top. Oh, Bark. Ooh, he wants to try and stop the backs. They do know that Saib is in their top side of the jungle, though. This could be quite dangerous for him.
Yeah, Bark trying to stop the back of Binoculars, and will in fact stop the back, so very cheeky play there, and just trying to annoy Binoculars as much as possible. Gonna try to stop the back, and actually in lane swap the top lane to the top lane to match Liberty and Bark, so they may back and match in the bot lane again. But quite interesting play here. They actually want their top laners on the top side of the map so they can TP down to this dragon, given it happens.
And I actually think this move favors Dream, actually, because they basically negated the Zabuza lane swap. They held even against Binoculars. They blew their flashes, and now those flashes won't be available for any kind of bottom side dragon fight. The only thing, though, is IU blew his teleport, and Riven to Dream didn't. So sending those top laners up to the top lane ever so slightly favors Zabuza, just in terms of that teleport availability. It's going to be down to Dream to play the next few minutes of this match really, really well.
Tam Jong just going to happily farm this lane against Survive Alone, and Survive Alone probably going to be content with this as well, because Orianna, someone you want to farm up to the late game with, and so was Vladimir, so I'd like to see the junglers apply pressure elsewhere on the map, because neither of the lanes are that easy to gank, and Bark actually putting some pressure down onto Binoculars, but Binoculars not having a bar and putting some damage back down onto the two. But Liberty actually has a farm up on Binoculars. I mean, obviously not much, but you shouldn't have a Vayne out farming a Jinx here.
Goes to show, Liberty, when he keeps his calm, is an incredibly strong player. Tam Jong now slowly starting to turn the tables on Survival. Another big thing is he doesn't need the blue buff, which means O2-1 can take it. Speaking of O2-1, he's found Saib. Actually, there's a teleport from Riven to Dream. he's looking for something in this bottom side. He wants to find the dragon. This is going to be a pile in and pile on with Cyber already low and no smite available. There's the Mega now though already being popped. A bit of an unfortunate time as now Dragon started off the Zabuza. It doesn't quite look like GP can collapse, but they are still in the area. Oh, Tamdrop taking a chunk. Oh, this isn't safe, but he goes in anyway. Throws down the ultimate. They're getting good damage down. They find Cyber in the back line. First blood there, going over to Tamdrop, but Binockles picks one up. Binockles, he's run off to the side. He is going to stay alive. 0-1! Oh, Buck absorbing the rocket. MVP. Oh, Buck, he's got to get out of there. He's got to leave as fast as he can. Really nice fight though. 2 for 1, no dragon going over, and now IU getting good pressure on this top turret as well. Dream, they're looking a bit more comfortable again. Now they're starting to come into their own.
Dream keeping their cool in that fight, and very well played there. 2 kills, and actually lucky for the side of Zabuza to not get out with more deaths there, because a lot of low members there walking out by the neck of their teeth. But top lane may get taken down here, sorry. Very, very close to death, and LU the whole time has gained a 40 CS advantage up in this top lane and has a TP up when Remyrhe the Dream will not have it up.
Buck hasn't backed. He's just gone straight back into lane. They want to keep Liberty as ahead as they can. They don't want Binockles getting free fast. You know, if Binockles is in lane, Liberty's going to be in lane. They want that Vayne massive.
And Liberty, one of the better ADCs to get ahead. And we've seen Liberty ahead on Vayne, and he's just a monster though. And if you let him farm up in a lane that's supposed to favor the Jinx, then actually they're going to go.
Oh, the Jinx! O21 finds it, nice glacial fissure, but Binockles, he's so low, running on the backside, O21 gets him with the red buff burn. Miseria now running away as fast as he can, he can't catch him, he's a gingerbread man, but you can if your Liberty takes him down. That's one dead wrong with a small frown.
And that's what I wanted to see from O21 come out here. A lot of early aggression to get his lanes ahead, and if he wasn't going to pick the Nidalee, he has to do what he just did, and beautifully played by him, taking the right lanes and punishing Binockles and Miseria for being there without any support. And Silence can do his best to kind of steal this away, but top lane is taken away. Mega Death Rocket coming in, may very well kill Buck here. And it does!
He kills Buck, but Silence side. Oh! The spike steal! But he's in the pit with Nidalee and O21. Sorry, Liberty and O21. And Liberty and Nidalee, that's a tricky one to say 5 times fast. So the dragon's stolen away and they do pick up a kill, but Silo Side laid down his life for it. Honestly, that first dragon, Dream are happy to give it up, especially when they have 4K in the lead, getting good pressure all across the map. Top turret is down and Liberty is well and truly ahead.
Obviously the favorable matchup would have been to actually get the dragon whilst also picking up the kill, but unfortunately Dragon did get stolen away by Silo Side, so doing the best of a bad scenario, a bad fight, but nonetheless, 4K in the pockets, that's a lot, and a lot of it being on the mid laner, jungler, and the ADC, so all roles you want to have very fed, and the Bork already being finished up, and Jinx sitting on only a BF sword and a pickaxe.
Yeah, there's Jinx. You know, they're really relying on it, and so far O21 has just done good work in hurting Binockles. In fact, he's already down to the bottom side. Binockles, he can't make the same mistake twice. He can't afford to push this turret. They do have the one ward down, but still, that's O21 with the red buff. Binockles, he looks like he wants to go in. There's another tornado. It's the same thing again. O21, he's going to come down from the top side, finds Miseria. Liberty isn't there. He does get into it now. With that final hour pop, they're going to find Miseria. He's the first one. Solo Side is there, but they've got Binockles. One more super pulse. They don't quite find it. Solo Side zoning him out, but everyone is low. Tamjong's here. He's ready to clean up. Has a red buff. Binockles, he needs to run away. There's Miseria going down. Tamjong happy to just put the damage on Solo Side. Now he'll survive alone. The rest of the Dream Squad is already here. There's a low Binockles. He has to leave. Miseria is already down. IU has teleport. Riven to Dream doesn't. Dream, they have a favorable situation.
IU up 50 CS in this lane. Has the Hexdrinker, so he has no pressure of death, and also has those Merc treads, so a lot of magic resistance in his pocket, and he may very well look to dive. I mean, he's so confident in this matchup, and really dealing with the Dream in this top lane, so very strong showing by IU, and it's really what I like to see after that Fizz game, where he kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah, it's a really nice thing that's come out of that lane swap, actually. IU is getting a little bit bullied out. He definitely has the favorable situation at this point in the matchup, and that early bit is rough for him. So what that reset up to the top lane did was gave IU a moment to catch his breath. And now he's come back to lane doing a lot more work than Riven the Dream. Also getting that turret was really crucial. And while O21 has been pressuring the bottom side, Silo Side hasn't been able to go up and answer to IU. So IU, he's just getting further and further ahead now, and Silo Side can't do anything about it.
It's extremely important at this point though that Dream does not drop the ball in terms of objectives and vision game, because last game the vision was lacking and it was quite poor. So it was really important that they do keep up the vision and make sure Binoculars has no pathway back into this game, because one Jinx in a fight that gets one kill, she can go crazy. I mean, she does get excited and she does get killed, so they have to be very cautious to make sure that they can get onto this Jinx and Liberty does get the damage he needs to do across the board.
It could be really, really huge. There's already a good amount of vision from Zabuza. There was one ward actually in the Dream side jungle that did just get taken down. Speaking of, that ward that just went down would have spotted out this move from O21, who is again coming down to this bottom side, ready to pressure it. But Stylo Cyber is giving blue buff to survive alone. They are both nearby and both very, very ready to fight. This could blow up in Dream's face if they're not careful.
The stronger 3v3 though, it does sit in the favor of O21 and a
Oh, the monster! Binoculars is smacked against the wall, but Liberty, he's so low! Gets it! The Igniter's burning! There's no one to save him! He flashes away from the heal, and now IU stuck between Riven to Dream and Silo Cybe. Viseria off to the side. They need to find damage. They come from the mid lane. Tamjong is nowhere to be seen. Bark and IU, they need to get back now. There is a shockwave available. There it goes. There's the ball out. Bark, I don't think he's getting out of this one alive. They get him against the wall. Flash away! Oh, but the Braum stun is there. Bark goes down to an Ignite. Oh, they go back in! And the shockwave finds him, and IU! The Millionaire against the wall. Riven to Dream caught up. Solo side, no mana. O21 is there. Spear off to the side. And now IU piles on the pressure. Solo side is low. O21 wants it. They get them both. And triple kill. No, a double kill for the Nidalee and another kill for the Nah. This is going to be a turret as well. No doubt about it. And Dream flip it on its head. Tamjong stayed in the mid lane the whole time too.
How beautifully played by Dream there. They just knew they had the strength, they played around the champions, they waited for the Mega Knight and had a beautiful ult on the carries against the wall. And IU and Tamjong was sitting in the mid lane the whole time getting free farm over this Orianna, but O21 and IU just doing so much work in that fight, knowing their rotations and hitting those crucial spears that really mattered. I mean, Liberty did get a bit panicky at the end of that fight and did flash away from the heal by O21 and didn't life steal off the minions to try get rid of that Ignite, but apart from that, they played that beautifully and they overstayed there on the side of Zabuza, sorry.
And you know, this is really what happens when O21 gets ahead on that Nidalee. He's able to be very effective in fights. He becomes another mid-game damage threat, and it's actually not one that Zabuza have an answer to, because there's no two ways about it. Silo Cybe doesn't deal that same amount of damage. Even Riven to Dream doesn't deal the same amount of damage right now as O21. And then they still have to deal with the regular carries in the form of Nah and in the form of Vayne. Tamjong hasn't even been in the last two fights, and he is already going toe-to-toe with Survive alone in the mid lane. It's now Zabuza's game to claw their way back into, or they're going to find themselves losing their spot in the finals.
And a very, very good adaptation from O21. I'd like to maybe take some credit for that. Maybe he was tuning in and listening to us tell him to get those sidestoned on that jungler, and he has in fact got sidestoned in this jungle game. So very smart adaptation, gonna help his friend Bark in the vision game, and vision is so crucial in these kind of games, and he's obviously given it more thought and opted for that sidestone to match Silo Cybe, who obviously gets sidestone every game. So very smart play there and very strong right now. That vision game has really got them those kills in the bot lane and given him the opportunity to gank and get himself and Bark Liberty so ahead in these lanes.
Yeah, definitely a good point there. OG1, like I was quite critical actually of the Nidalee pickup, because you know, he is so good on it. There's no two ways about that. But I keep saying that actually. There's no two ways about what I'm saying. He is very good on that, but like I said, it robs your team of utility. So you have to play it very, very specifically in order for it to be good. You have to be able to adapt to what the other team throws at you in order to get yourself ahead enough to deal damage. So this game, instead of trying to give Silo Cybe a run for his money, he wants to give Binoculars a run for his money. He's done that very, very effectively. He is adapting, even though he's not changing his champion.
Yeah, Dream has done a beautiful job of realizing what the comp that Silo Cybe and his team are trying to run. It's obviously protect the ADC comp, protect the Binoculars comp, and they've really punished Binoculars and tried to put him behind in the early game so that he can't carry in the late game. And be honest, they've done it very, very well. And IU actually goes down while the Dragon's been taken.
He's going aggressive. This is really nice, actually. It kind of stops Riven the Dream from making any kind of movements. Notice look at the teleport. Wow, Liberty is just going so aggressive. Onto Binoculars, took a chunk of damage. The Shockwave catches him. Is he going to go down? No, he's still alive. Life sealing up. Nice on-suit gives him some crucial, much-needed health. Takes a Q, barrel to the face. Binoculars goes down to Tam Jong, who is now in the fight. 021 finds Survivor Load. He's hot on his heels. And Tam Jong, he's so healthy. They didn't get Liberty in that fight. And now look at the flashing red health bars. Bark finds Salo Side. 021 finds the last member in that fight. It's just Riven the Dream left alive all the way on the island of Wet Noodle Fights.
Dream must have realized after last game it was a big wake-up call for them, and they have really crispened up their game since then, and they've played the map extremely well, knowing their strengths, scouting out the late top and actually matching it was such a crucial and integral part of this game, how they are so ahead right now, and every lane is playing so perfectly at this point in the game.
This is a classic Dream play though, actually. They're not quite going to go for it, but they really love doing that. Towards the end of the turret going down, they'll clear up the wave and get ready to go straight onto the inhibitor turret and melt that before the team can respond. That being said, it's actually still quite early in the game. Don't let the 12k gold lead fool you. The death times are still quite short, and they didn't want to give Zabuza a leg up by going too aggressive on the turret.
Yeah, remember the Dream still falling further and further behind, now with 60 farm differential in the top lane, and Lulu having a hard time against someone that's doing so much damage after the 202. Big plays in the bot lane, and 021 just 14 kill participation out of these 15 kills. It just speaks to how much he's done for his team and how much he's offered. And also look at Bark, 11 kill participation. It just shows where most of the kills have been, and it's in the bot lane.
Oh, it really does. IU as well, he's so comfortable with those 2 kills up. I mean, we were saying it earlier. He struggles in the early game matchup against the Lulu. And then the mid game starts to go in his favor. With those kills up, he's going to be able to solo kill before long. Hold on though, Liberty might have been flanked out by Salo Side, but no, they can't even find Bark. Liberty and Bark in a 3v2 again just went, hold on a minute, let's just back out of here. And they did, without a moment's hesitation.
Yeah, 021 just trying to make Riven the Dream's life a bit hard here and try to steal away this Krug, and does just smite it away, so Riven the Dream not going to get that farm. And if they can deny this blue from an Orianna, it's really crucial. I mean,
Orianna's not even here, actually.
Exactly, I mean, actually might go kill him Mysteria, but
they might just. Liberty does stand on the choppers, though. Nice facial fish, only finds Tam Jong, though. Tam Jong, who can seal back up, but he's going in. He's going aggressive. He might even go down here. Nice dodge, but he does in the life steal. Shut down. They find Liberty as well. That just fell apart. Tam Jong going way too aggressive there. Zabuza pick up 2 kills.
Not quite sure what the thought process for Dream was there. I mean, they only had 3 members there. 021 was not there quite yet, and if they could just deny the blue, I mean, Orianna, one of those champions, more so than others that need blue buff, and they are going to get the blue eventually, but they lose 2 members for it.
Maybe just a bit of a communication breakdown there with Tam Jong going a bit aggressive. Also stood on top of the stun. Could have used the Sanguine Pull to back out as well. Really, could just be that he didn't pass on that info. Expected the team would follow up, and then they didn't. But who's to say at the end of the day? Now the 2 midgets in the top lane, laughing at each other and just shooting spells, boomerang spells.
Yeah, Lulu doesn't really hit her effectiveness until Binoculars actually gets strong, and he will be strong around that 2-3 items point. And Jinx with that minigun is going to do so much damage, and the AoE crits do so much work. So we'll see what he can do with Lulu and Orianna shielding him up to try to get these. To try to get some damage across, and they're going to clear out that ward, try to de-ward their own jungle, as 021 and Bark have done a very good job at trying to deny vision whilst also gaining vision. So very good job by the side of Zabuza, sorry, and
thing is,
kind of realizing what they need to do.
The thing is, you bring up though 3 item threshold for Binoculars. You can argue the same for Liberty, and he's already got 2 of those items, plus they're 2 key items. When you're against, you know, more squishy champions, the tanks, you do want to get, you know, good damage early, and then just get as many shots in as you possibly can. You just want to chunk down, and that's exactly what Liberty's picking up with that Phantom Dancer. Hold on, they're looking to get the drop on the top lane, but it's going to be them getting dropped in on Mysteria. Oh, IU over the wall, ready to go for it. Finds the stun. Actually, no, not quite. Mysteria, no, that time he's stunned. Nice glacial fishing catches all four. Missouri still goes down, and there was the wild growth as well. River to Dream, no mana left. Survive alone is there. Binoculars might find O2-1 off to the side though. Nice spear, what a chunk. IU zoning out side of side on the top side while he pressures the turret. Dream are happy to pressure the 4v4 now. They slipped up for a moment there, but they're not going to let the same thing happen twice. IU though, he needs to get out of here. Binoculars is still scary.
Oh! Keep going in.
Oh my god! Here. Oh, the barrel! It's thrown the wrong way! Binoculars does get it though. That was a little bit unfortunate. Liberty's come in, he wants to try and clean house, but Liberty, he can't go 2v1 still. Did blow solo side splash.
Burning the flash for just the ultimate, so that was fine trade by Liberty standards, and yeah, although IU did get caught out there, it's nearly killed Binoculars for a return kill, but he might sneak it around here and they have no vision here.
Actually, it looks like Missouri is just about to get the water, but no one's in position to contest it, you know. And it's such an easy area for a team comp like Zabuza to contest. Normally, Riven to Dream wanted to go for the steal, didn't actually find it, wasn't there in time. But the Oriana Shockwave, along with the Gragas Barrel, they love fights in those Baron and Dragon pits. And they just weren't anywhere near in position for it, so Dream, very good play there. Knowing that Zabuza weren't going to be able to react to that move, they just opened the gold lead further and further, now 12k ahead.
Thinking they saw Silas back and burn that flash, they just knew there's no contention for the smite, and he doesn't have home guards who can make it there in time, and very smart play there, knowing their limits and knowing what they can get away with. They got the dragon as well, so 3 objectives across the map and just broadening this lead to a 12k gold, and very strong play here.
Yeah, this is Dream back in their comfort zone. Binoculars is still pretty scary, and they are giving him a lot of respect. In fact, they're giving this composition as a whole a lot of respect. But Dream, they can close out this match. They can definitely win this game. The question is how. They do need to play a little bit cautiously to do it, but they look like they're back in the saddle. They're back in a position to do that. They, like I said, got a bit over-aggressive. Sorry, like you said, rather, a bit over-aggressive last game, and I think it's been a bit of a wake-up call for them. So this game they're playing a little bit more methodically.
Thing is though, what they haven't damaged, they lack in tower sieging potential. They have to either dive or catch them out on a rotation and try punish them for not being there in time. But right now, they've done a pretty good job at holding their turrets. I mean, middle tier 2 turret is gone in fact, but top lane and bot lane are still open. So we'll see if they can in fact lead these out of turrets and try make it, broaden the lead, have a bit of open map a bit more, and Tamjong trinket actually not working, so just gonna disconnect and reconnect, hopefully, very briefly. But yeah, we should definitely mention, how does the team of Binoculars and the team of Zabuza claw back into this game, because they're so far behind at this point.
You know, it kind of comes down to the vision game. Thing is, up until this point, Zabuza have actually really held on very well in vision. It's only recently, you know, if you look at the map now, they've got it all there. They've got the coverage in their side of the jungle. That's quite fresh though. But they need to hold on to that. They need to stop Dream from sneaking through and getting the favorable fights, getting the sort of picks and stuff that they need, because, you know, like you said, they don't have any siege, so they can't just walk up to a turret and start chipping away at it. So, he's restarting the client here. Oh, hold on. Tamjong has come back saying that he's ready to go. Here comes the unpause. But it's going to be the vision game and getting some more favorable fights. But already we see Dream doing work to undo the vision Zabuza have just claimed. And Zabuza can't really go in and stop them. It's still not safe for them to just walk head on into Dream. They need to catch them out.
Baron buff is going to help in terms of helping the siege, but LU actually so aggressive on Riven the Dream, going to take him down to half health and not much in return. And obviously showing the strength, and he does put that Baron buff onto that so he can in fact... Oh no, actually he was on the enemy members that did not get Baron, but they do have Baron in the bot lane, so they could more ease, and the minions will be a bit tankier than usual, but Jinx, Oriana, and Braum do have a lot of wave clear, and so does Lulu on the top side of the map, so Tamjong versus Silosa in the mid lane, and
Tamjong has been chipping away at that turret, as has IU in this top side. I mean, it's slow going, but they are getting somewhere, and while that's all happening, Liberty and O2-1 have just hung around the bottom side, really just to keep Binoculars and Viseria tied up, to stop them from actually sending something mid and top to deal with the threats up there. So Dream really just playing this map quite nicely.
Yeah, very, very good 1-3-1 by them, putting their 2 damage threats in the solo lanes, and also having enough
here they are on the turret now.
Liberty.
Survivor Alone backed away for a crucial moment, and Dream got a chunk down onto the turret.
And this tank minion actually can't pick up the turret, so yeah. Very, very strong play. Baron Minion's MVP, and Tam Jong looking towards his mid lane turret, but Dream was there.
Tam Jong just hasn't left it, hasn't let up, he goes aggressive, wants to fight Survivor Alone, he goes under the turret for it though. The rest of the team isn't there, what a nice shockwave. Tam Jong again a bit over aggressive, but it could just be a really clever bait because now the bottom side inhibitor turret is going to go down. Liberty helps the final hour, he wants to maybe put his foot on the gas pedal, but Binoculars though, still a lot of damage, must be respected. Liberty, he finds him, but there's so much damage that Binoculars is throwing down 021, snipes out Miseria. That's a lot of what was going to stop Liberty, and 021 is still super healthy with that move up, inhibitor goes down. Zabuza forced to back away from that, and Remyrhe Dream is still stuck just trying to stall up IU on that top side. The moment he leaves, they lose that top turret.
And could this have back to the final hour of Zabuza here? I mean, Liberty definitely helping his team, not going to get a double inhib, but does get the bot lane inhib, which really opens up the map in terms of a lot of pressure on the bot side when the Baron is up, and it's going to be a really integral part because they're going to get pulled across the map, which they've already done very well. I mean, manipulating the team of Zabuza across the map. And although Tam Jong was a bit overzealous in the mid lane and did die for it, they did trade it with a Baron, sorry, not a Baron, inhibitor turret and the inhibitor, so strong play by Dream, you know, losing one thing but giving another.
And this is how you close out the game, you know, if you are Dream. That's exactly what you do. You smartly pressure the side lanes. It's not necessarily about roaming around or, you know, going for sieges, going for anything fancy like that. You just keep the pressure on the side lanes, play your other lane safely so that you don't get caught out in, you know, a 5v3 or something like that. And force the hand of Zabuza. You saw there, the moment Survivor Alone left, Liberty punched down the turret. He just went straight in, went, this turret's going down, nothing you can do about it. And Tam Jong was unanswered for in the mid lane. His aggression was again the thing that drew away crucial members of the Zabuza squad, and was what allowed Liberty to crack open the inhibitor.
Very good itemization here by Bark. Gonna go for that last item, Zeke's Hardbringer, and to help that out even more, actually a fight gonna break out so quickly in the mid lane.
Oh, they look like they want it. Tam Jong this time isn't just gonna charge in on his own, he's got his whole team there, who have all 5 of them at last ready to go side on side, making good use of that extra gate on the side. Took a chunk though, the third Brock Silver Bolts drops him down to below half health, and they have to respect the damage as IU goes mega. Flash out from Remyrhe Dream, but Liberty hot on his heels. Miseria jumps in front to try and stop him out. Bark takes the inhibitor in the meantime, and now the minions are starting to pile in. A lot of members already low. Binoculars, he could go down. Tam Jong, he's got it. Will he get to the base in time? He does, just barely walks onto the fountain. Gets out of that life, but while that happened, the turret went down. IU has damage, Liberty has damage. There goes the barrel. Tries to catch out Liberty. They do get some good damage, but it's not quite enough. Binoculars, they still have to respect him. They are looking like they want to back away. Dream, get one Nexus turret. Exceptionally good fight there. Blew a lot of abilities on the side of Zabuza. Not quite able to close out the game just yet. Zabuza is still in for a chance.
Really strong play there. I mean, one turret, another double in, already down. And as I was going to mention before, Liberty's only going to get more scary. He's going to go for that Infinity Edge. So once Bark does in fact finish the Zeke's Hardbringer, that he'll be doing 100% crit chance as well on that vein with the Silver Bolts, shredding that squishies and tanks alike. But going to pick up this Dragon here, number 3, very helpful Dragon, and going to easily secure that. Round going to be up in 20 seconds, sorry, so they may look towards that, and there's too much pressure on the map for Binoculars, and his team to kind of contest it.
Bonkles.
Yeah, Bonkles.
Bonkles. Dinosaur clearing out the ward there. Good move by him. But of course, in a Dream, they're probably going to move towards that Baron side anyway, coming up in a few seconds, and they can afford to take the fight there because Zabuza can't afford to leave the base, really. So, if they do try and contest the Baron, Dream, they'll just stick around. They'll draw out the fight, they'll let the minions do the work. Now they're already going to go for it, actually sweeping maybe a little bit early. OUC is going to find that ward right on the backside, Baron bit low. Jumps over the wall even just to get some more vision down. We'll see Silo side.
Yeah, the only bit of a steal is Silo side, in fact, because Binoculars is on the bot lane trying to clear the super minions, and
all of Zabuza is out of the base. The rocket's coming through already, this is maybe a little bit early. Slides right through, of course it can't hit the Baron. Tam Jong up on the top side doing what he does best, just sacrificing himself to harass the team, but he hasn't even gone down yet. Now Survivor Alone is going to get caught out, forced to flash away IU. about to go mega. Who is he going to find? Liberty already popped the final hour. They are on the prowl. They are chasing down Zabuza, wanting to put the pressure on, have that Baron buff, just looking for anything they can find. Tam Jong, he's leading the pack. 0-1 off to the side as well, looking to get what he can with spears. They've got some good poke down. The shockwave could be really... No, it's already gone down, never mind that. Bark is quite low though.
As they're closing out this game is one word we can say. I mean, you watch them, they're pulling the map so perfectly. I mean, one member should walk mid with the Baron buff and really make those super minions even more enhanced. But apart from that, they're playing this pretty perfectly. I mean, like they're going to walk mid, but they're
That's what they want to do.
Tam Jong mid.
Yeah, they want to force Zabuza to all be in one place. Now, it's going to be Binoculars sent back to deal with the super minions, which is so unfortunate for Zabuza because he's the one you want in the fight, but he's also the only one who can really deal with the super minions. This is the moment, potentially, for Dream to take out this turret, really close out the game. The minion wave is there. Binoculars is still dealing with super minions. Actually, no, they lost the Nexus turret as well. It's now Survive Alone and Binoculars together dealing with it. This turret goes down. That's the last one left. Tam Jong, he goes aggressive. The Mega Gnar is there. Who are they going to find? They haven't got anyone just yet. Tam Jong gets stunned up. IU to follow. Bark is just dealing with the inhibitor, but the Nexus is exposed. Liberty already chipping away at it. They need to get on top of it and stop him as fast as they can. The barrel is going to do some work for it. The shockwave whiffs completely as Dream take the last shot at the Nexus. Zabuza gave them a run for their money, but Dream in that last game came out swinging and proved that they were the better of the two. And it is going to be all the way from the University of Auckland, Team Dream flying to Sydney to play the live finals at Riot's studio over there. That is so huge for them, the little Kiwi kids, all the way from the big, small apple. Congratulations to them, but also some congratulations must be given to Zabuza. They made it this far, and they did play an exceptional set of games. You know, hats off to them. They really played well. Gave Dream an absolute run for their money, and arguably deserves to win at as many points as Dream did throughout that entire series. So congratulations to those teams, and thank you so much everybody who did tune in. I have been Matt Pixie Carroll. Casting with me today has been Tipuni Poon Smite. This has been Tipuni Poon Smite. Your last name is Doyle. And this has been an absolutely pleasurable series, best of 3 series to watch and cast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you when we see you. But make sure you tune into the finals, guys. It is going to be one hell of a finals to watch. The semi-final actually is, second semi-final I should say, is coming up right after this one. So if you're keen to see who Dream are going to be facing off against, tune into that.